All right, welcome to EDH Budget Deck Building. This is my first video. I will keep this somewhat short and simple here. Now, as you can see, these are my personal boxes. Zombies. I have built over 40 plus generals. Let me see here. 41st is Polukranos Unchained. I have like 5 others over there. That is my main work area. I have a commander cube right there. And I got uncommons, commons, lands, extras there. Down below too, down below the table. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun building, but as you can see, it does get tiring and it does get quite crowded. Oh, there are so many stacks there. I am taking apart decks, just removing some of the rares, putting them in trade binders, and fixing up, cleaning up other decks. If you're not going to use cards in decks, it's recommended that you put them away in a binder or something. Just categorize when you're not using them. Now, as you can see here, my strength, this is my zombie box, but my strength as far as what I know, how to build, and yes, I know everything, I will not touch certain things. Banding is something I won't really touch. I would rather deal with Rampage than banding. Some of the new mechanics are kind of interesting, but I haven't quite gotten the hang of some of them yet. Investigate. What was a new mechanic here? It's the one that's like ward. Sorry, it's the one that's like... it's the one that's like manifest and morph, but it has ward 2. It's that new one. Oh, man. I can't remember it, but it's pretty interesting. It looks like it could be a big hit. But yeah, for the most part here, zombies of every type, every color, all of that, including color hacking, but that really only works for a couple of cards like Dreams of the Dead. Instant speed reanimation in black is pretty darn cool, but it's limited to only a couple of cards. Dreams of the Dead is one of them, and Nim Death Mantle is another one. I think Nim Death Mantle is like $5 to $10 now, but I could be wrong. I haven't really checked up on prices. That's not something I'm good with. Now, as you can see here, I have over 40 plus generals built. This one's just for fun. This one I'm still working and playtesting some. Yep, I got 5 over there. Ludwig is one of them. The blue-black Ludwig. Venser. There's, yeah. Glissa. Sun Glisser. Sunspear Glisser. I can't remember her whole name, but she's over there as well. Black, green. It's just another variation. Pretty cool. Incubate is not a mechanic that I really know much about. I mean, I know about it. It's just not something that I've really spent time with. So the other 2 things that I know very well, and as you can see, is my other box. Legendary, 5-color legendary. My main deck is over here. Pink is very unassuming, I know. Oh yeah, fun stuff. 90% of this deck is legendary. I have different variations. Right now it's multiplayer. 1 versus 1. Legendary artifacts, enchantments, legendary dragons, wizards. Oh yeah. A whole bunch of fun, different combination, but if you want my advice on 5-color, do not do 5-color wizards. They just do not mesh well at all, and it's horrible. 5-color legendary dragons, definitely a way to go, partly because of the support from my favorite general, Sign of the Ur Dragon. Of course, the Ur Dragon works pretty well too, won't lie. He's on the backside there. Let me see. I just had a lot of fun, but, well, I'm not using half the stuff anymore, which is another reason why I'm trying to sell. You know, break down decks, sell cards, get rid of that stuff. I have a lot. It's been quite an adventure, and it's quite fun, but I don't need half this stuff. And if you guys could actually enjoy it, go for it. So, a whole bunch of uncommons. Sorry, uncommons are on the left. A whole bunch of commons and a whole bunch of uncommons. Good stuff. All right. Let me see if there's anything else here. 5-color, legendary, slivers. Yes. I have built the first sliver and I will not build any other one because being with the Sliver Hive Lord, yeah, like control is something that is too easy to go back to. So the first Sliver is completely random with the Cascade. That is a lot of fun, but if you're trying to go competitive, while it does provide card advantage, you have to fine tune with the numbers to make sure that you're likely to cascade into something useful, which is quite a hassle. But it does pay off if you can do top deck manipulation. There's a couple of cards like Sensei's Divining Top that actually do top deck manipulation. So you can cascade into actually good stuff rather than casting a 4 or 5 CMC and getting like a 1 CMC card. Not fun when cascade like that fizzles. Let me see here. Cullis, I know fairly well for the most part. Modular with the +1/+1 counters. They released a new general in that legendary, let me see here, the Eldrazi Cullis, that recent Eldrazi Cullis deck. So I can't remember what he is, but he deals with +1/+1 counters. It works well with modular and some other stuff. So outside of that, the latest three new sets, I'm still learning some of those mechanics, like the one that revolves around Manifest and Morph, but I'm blanking on what it's called. It gives the additional +2 for Ward. So it is face down and it has Ward 2. Not too shabby. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. Well, let me see. I got back into playing Magic in 2011, but EDH wasn't something I picked up until 2012. I had a lot of fun. I think I built Mono Black first, and then it was 5-color Legendary, and then Slivers. I did a 5-color, it was like a perfect 5-color Return to Ravnica draft deck, and it had some good support. I pulled like 4 rares, 1 mythic, which was Angel. It's a black-white Angel. When it dies, you get a Cleric that allows you to pay 6 or 7 mana to reanimate that Angel next turn. Pretty fun, but again, we're talking like 13, 12, 11 years ago. Some of the stuff is just old. But yeah, let me see here. I forgot to say I specialize in Bear Hug decks. Mono Blue Bear Hug is pretty funny. Let me see here. Fun Mono Blue cards. Force Fruition. Oh yeah. Your opponents are going to hate you after a while, but they're going to love you at first. Let me see here. Wow, Vow of Flight's not bad. Eye of the Storm, which is hilariously bad. Turning every deck into a Storm deck. Mystic Stagnation combos with another card when you just straight up exile the graveyard. It's a blue enchantment that costs 5 mana, and what it does is it counters spells if the same card exists in the graveyard. And there's one other factor too. I can't remember it, but it's a 5 CMC enchantment that just works really well with Mystic Stagnation. It's pretty bad. Just messing with your opponent's illusionary gains. Have fun. Web of Inertia. Not quite as good as those other cards like Propaganda, but it's not bad either, because it forces them to exile cards that could potentially be reused. Also, if they don't do it at the beginning of combat, they can't attack you. Devastation, Portent, Sea Scryer, Mono Blue, Mana Dwarf. That's a Merfolk. Not bad. Phyrexian Metamorph. Yeah, old school Brainstorm on a land. Give or take. Because you're drawing 3, discarding 3. Knowledge Pool, Psych Rift, Magicite the Water Veil, which is the worst extra turn ever because you skip a turn. Basically, don't do anything when you activate it. If you can proliferate, go for it. But that doesn't do much since it bounces back to your hand. There's ways to mess with this. There's a new enchantment that came out like a year or 2 years ago that actually works well with Eon counters. It's a black enchantment, but I can't remember much else about it. Folding Ether. It's probably one of the nicer counter spells out there, so people don't actually outright hate you. I play with some jank stuff here, but the idea is to get people involved, and the general is actually pretty fun. Okay, not that one. Where's the general? Where's the general? Mono Blue Zombies. That's right there. Mono Blue Zombies. Madness. Oh, hang on. Right here. Undying. Oh, wait, that's Persist. But yeah, Zombie Madness focusing around, on the Madness mechanic. So yeah, there's a couple others like the Stitch Wings. They're extremely fun and deadly when you know how to combo them right with other cards. Because again, Madness is a really cool mechanic. On Magic Arena, there's only like one Madness card, which absolutely sucks. Now, for Mono Blue Bear Hug, I recommend this little guy. He's pretty cool. He's really cheap. Easy to kill, but why would you want to kill him? So yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. I absolutely love this deck, and it's hilariously bad. Counterspell on a stick. Propaganda. You got some traditional cards. Stand Still is hilarious because people want to play stuff. Yeah, they don't want their opponents to draw cards. Pretty fun. Oh, this is absolutely hilarious. Hey, you got Flash, except during... Yeah. It's funny. But yeah, it gives everyone Flash. Except during your turn. Now, this is kind of a very funky counterspell. But it works, and it's chaotic. Flux, everyone can loot. Everyone can loot, yes. Foil, free counterspell, not that good, but not bad either. Sack of permanent. Graveyard removal and protection all in one. Little chat, modify memory. Oh, this is absolutely hilarious too. Modify memory is just a switch creatures with two different players. If you're not one of them, you draw 3. Oh, dude, you can have so much fun with this stuff. So mono blue hug, mono black hug, mono red hug with chaos. There's quite a few different friendly red generals out there. The green general is a particular spicy favorite of mine. This is Esper Bear Hug and Namatu. She's actually kind of evil if you know how to build her right. Mono green, black red, green red. White black is not friendly. Blue black, oh yeah. Where are we at? The Worm, the legendary Worm. This guy is one of my favorite hug generals ever. Gives every creature a fun ability to fight this guy and draw cards when it leaves the battlefield. Incentivized to not just straight up like Swords to Plowshare. Yep. Alright. Blue, black. That's basically it. Try not to lose my place here. Oh yeah. Tons of fun. But again, I specialize with zombies 5-color. Hug decks now at this point. Like I just don't get the chance to play EDH like I would like to. It is still fun. I was able to go hang out with some friends a couple days ago. So it was awesome. I just wish I had more time. The older you get, the less time you seem to get as far as playing, just because you got more responsibility, possibly a family, kids, etc., etc. Yep, some of the stuff I'm willing to sell too if you're interested. I mean, I've sold quite a few decks between now and 2017 when I started my page up here. Obviously, these are pre-built, like decks that I've spent years on for the most part. The different variations of like slivers and zombies, obviously. I won't lie, Magic Arena is lacking a lot of stuff support-wise for zombies. They got Gen Palm Polluter, which surprised me, but they don't have Zombie Apocalypse. They don't have some of those massive reanimation cards needed in zombie decks. Also, they mess around with some certain cards like Hobbling Zombie, which is a favorite of mine. In the card itself is 3 mana, but online he costs 2 mana. Nim Deathmantle is a classic. They're missing that. It's basically a trigger. You can pay for to equip it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and menace, and is a black zombie. But it also has a triggered ability of when something dies, you may pay 4 mana of any color to bring the creature back to the battlefield equipped to that equipment. So you can combo with creature counter spells, combo it with like Grey Merchant Rasfeld, just drain your opponents. Get the altars that allow you to sack for mana. Doesn't matter if it's the 2 colors or the black one. You could combo off with certain cards and just like Undying and Persist, and you could just make a whole bunch of mana and just like decimate your opponents. Reign of Hellfire, for example. You got the older original one, which is just life loss. Everyone loses X life and you gain X life. Yeah, like good classics. Now, I will be going more into the future as far as with particular strategies involving like 5-color, legendaries, zombies, and a couple of side ones. I'm trying to think here. Certain decks I can speculate on as far as like defensive decks, that sort of thing. Now, it's more of a side hobby for fun, obviously. Yes, this video is not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, by the way. No one cares about the combat ever. It's all about the mini-maxing with the artifacts, the legendaries you can get your hands on, and building them up. It's like a combination of Fire Emblem and Warframe, except without the combat. As I was explaining to some others who are kind of like not smart, there are similarities between Warframe and Raid Shadow Legends as far as building up your characters into pure beasts. You know, like just pure force of destruction. Anyway, moving on. Pauper, or rather Peasant, because all of the alternate generals, this is purely for fun. The power level seriously dropped. Yeah. The 5-color uncommon. Keep in mind, certain cards like Force of Will, Reanimate, Rhystic Study, they were originally uncommons or commons. So you could use them in a Pauper or a Peasant deck if you want to just have some fun and play with something that it's harder to combo, harder to board wipe, harder to do everything, but it's more fun because it challenges you to actually build decks away from certain things like staples, Soul Rings, Solon Simulacrum, aka Sad Robot. Yeah. Of course, you got some earlier variations of like Darksteel Ignis, a 3 CMC artifact that taps for 1 of any color that's indestructible. The original printing there from Darksteel was actually common. So anything that is rare, like that legendary land, Gaia Reach Sanitarium, that's rare. For Pauper, it's basically 5 or less uncommons for EDH. And if it's Peasant, it's like less than 15. Most people don't do that sort of thing. They just play like 60-card Pauper, 60-card Peasant. They don't really do like Commander and stuff like that. But yeah, stack of legendaries that I'm building, including Vassal the Complete. Hilariously bad legendary artifact Phyrexian. But he has activated abilities of all other permanents on the battlefield. Pretty darn fun. Oh yeah, think of the chaos you could bring with that when you start like doing some crazy stuff with activated abilities from artifacts, mana sources, planeswalkers, you name it. Oh, it's so fun. Of course, it's meant to be like kind of like a joke and all that, but whatever. Those testing cards were just a way to have fun with the game. That being said, welcome. I hope you stick around because there's more good stuff to follow. Oh, yes, there is. But I'll be going all over. I'll be making sure to label things accurately as far as like when I go from 5-color to like zombies and stuff like that. Now, since I built nearly every single zombie except for like the latest zombies here, Ludwig is one of them. Venser, the Phyrexian is also one of them. I need to get around to building these. They're super fun, but they play very differently, and you actually until you figure out certain cards will work well with them, you want to stick with staples just for the time being. The problem with staples is that while they are consistent and help you out, they also kill the interest in yourself and others over time, because every game may look the same if you're all running the same cards consistently. Variation is what makes Commander very unique. You know, the flavor, all of that. Obviously, if you're playing competitive, you kind of need staples. If you're playing casual or just playing jank, different types of hug decks and all that, have fun, explore, be creative, just make some noise. Burn the world up, you know, with your mono red or your red green or your red blue decks. All right. Until next time.